So, the Black Bulls. What if they were Pokemon trainers? Unlike the Dio video I did, I'm not gonna give the entire team like an entire 6 Pokemon, because this video would be way too long for that, and it would be kind of hard since, once again, most side characters are always kind of hard to do with. Do 6 entire Pokemon that relate to them. So I'm just gonna be giving them each one Pokemon, to represent that character. So let's begin with the main character himself, Asta. So for Asta's Pokemon, I decided to choose one that would represent his swords as well as him trying to become a Wizard King. And for that, I chose Aegislash. I chose Aegislash not only because it's the 3rd evolution in its line, and it kinda looks like the Demon Destroyer sword, which is Asta's 3rd sword. I also chose it because of its Alpha Sapphire dex, which states apparently it can detect the innate qualities of leadership. According to legend, whoever it recognizes is destined to become king. Let's tackle that first part, because for the most part, I think Asta does make a good leader, at least when Yami isn't around. He, like many shonen protagonists, have been shown to, influence the people around him, make them a better person, and lead them into battle, I guess. And the second part about, being a good king, someone who's destined to be a king, well, Asta's always constantly saying about how he's gonna become the Wizard King to bring peace to the land and marry Sister Lily and all that. And unless, the author pulls a rug from under us and we don't get to see it, he's most likely gonna become a king. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's why I think Aegislash would be a good Pokemon for Asta. At least, represent him in a way. However, before we move on, I think I'm gonna show you what I think his actual team would look like. I'm not gonna go into depth to it, but here's what I think his team would look like. Anyways, moving on to Noelle. So, the Majesty herself, Noelle. What Pokemon did I choose for her? Well, it's kind of simple, but a little too simple. I chose Gyarados for her. The main reason being is because she, throughout like a lot of the series, or at least a good portion of it, she uses Sea Dragon's Roar. And what does Gyarados look like? A sea dragon. So that's why. But I guess you can also get a little bit deeper into it. She starts out like a lonely mudkip, all useless. Everybody calls her useless. But once she starts to train, she actually becomes a force to be reckoned with. So yeah, that's her main Pokemon. And here's the rest of her Pokemon team. And now let's move on to the 3rd member, the witch drinker herself, Vanessa. For Vanessa, I wanted to go a little something more towards Rouge and, their whole shtick. It was hard to find a red cat Pokemon that can change fate, so I think I found the second best thing for that, which would be male Meowstic. As the Shield deck states, the defensive instincts of the males is strong. It is when they're protecting themselves or their partners that they unleash their full power. Although not quite like Rouge's, changing fate abilities, it is somewhat similar in the fact that Rouge only protects the ones that Vanessa cares about. He'll only change fate if they're in danger, so it's kind of a correlation, but I've got nothing else other than that. So yeah, here's the rest of her team. Moving on to the 4th member, Magna. It was hard finding a Pokemon that would represent Magna, but I did find one that kind of fit him, and that is Torracat. The evolved form of Lyn, before you get to Incineroar. I think its Shield Dex would add some credence to why I chose him. As the Shield Dex states, when facing a powerful enemy, Torracat's fighting spirit gets pumped up and its fire bell blazes hotter. As we see, when he isn't chosen to be a royal knight, he gets fired up saying that, oh look, you won't surpass me, I'll surpass you before you can surpass me. He's always fired up, ready to not be surpassed by his underlings. I also didn't give him Incineroar because I thought that, he's not the strongest fire user out there, but, he's still trying to get stronger. So that's kind of why I didn't give him Incineroar. He could still get stronger, but he's not quite there yet. Anyways, here's the rest of Magma's team. And moving on to the 5th member, Luck the Cheery Berserker. For Lux, we're gonna have a mythical Pokemon, the new Zeraora, or I guess not new, but yeah, you get my drift. And I mean, just by looking at it, you can tell why I chose this Pokemon. It's perfect for him, other than its Dex entry, which makes it even better for him. The Ultra Sun Dex states, it electrifies its claws and tears its opponents apart with them. Even if they dodge its attacks, they'll be electrocuted by flying sparks. Not only is Zeraora an electric type, but he can also, electrocute his claws. Just like Luck, he can produce electricity and fucking get the big ass electric gloves or claws, whatever you want to call them. With that, I rest my case on, Luck's Pokemon. So yeah, here's his entire team. Moving on to the 6th member, the portal hopping woman's lady, Finroll. So from now on, it's gonna get a little tricky because a lot of them are a little loose because it became a little harder. But Finroll's Pokemon's gonna be Hoopa, mainly due to the fact that Hoopa's kind of infamous for creating portals with her rings, kind of like Finroll. But honestly, that's the best connection I could get for Finroll's Hoop, or I guess his spatial dimension magic. I don't know, maybe when Hoopa changes his form, it's when Finroll gets that new hairdo, which is better than his first one. Although the unbound form would be better off for his brother, because it looks evil and his brother was evil. I'm just saying. Moving on to the 7th member, Charmy, and her Pokemon's gonna be Flaffy. I know that a lot of people would have wanted me to put Wooloo instead, as it's also a sheep, but the problem is Charmy sheep have to stand up and, cook. I don't really see Wooloo doing that, and Flaffy, in my opinion, is just better. Hashtag Flaffy is better. Anyways, moving on to the 8th member, which is Gauche. Now, Gauche was honestly the hardest one to find something for because there wasn't any Pokemon that dealt with mirrors. I guess mirror magic, but even then it's just Or his infatuation with his sister, which was kind of what I went for in choosing Kangaskhan because I couldn't really find anything else in terms of, he loves a family member. So I went with Kangaskhan because it's a mother who loves its baby, kind of like a brother who loves his baby sister. It's kind of a stretch, but yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, post-recording, Mega Kangaskhan would actually kind of fit with when, spoilers by the way, skip forward maybe 30 seconds, when the elves, take over everybody's bodies and Gauche and his little sister fight. So it kind of fits. Anyways, here's his full Pokemon team. And if I couldn't think of any, then it's just gonna be blank. A picture of my face maybe. But yeah, let's move on to the 9th member, I believe. Everybody's favorite, Gordon. So for Gordon, I decided to go with Banette, mainly due to the fact that Gordon likes to make, dolls out of his friends. So I thought Banette would be a great addition to that. Originally, I was thinking of putting Mimikyu on here, as, Mimikyu wants attention. So does Gordon, but he never really gets it. So I thought of putting him on here. I mean, I might, but on his full team. But I think for his signature Pokemon, Banette would be perfect. Also, I think Mega Banette's Dex says something about it having cursing power, just like what Gordon's power is, or his magic. So yeah, that's why Banette's on here. Once again, kind of loose, but it's there. So yeah, that's Gordon's main Pokemon. Here's the rest of his team. And let's move on to the 10th member. I stopped counting. Gray, the Transformer. So Gray's whole deal is that she's shy and doesn't want to be looked at, but she wants to be recognized, but once again, not directly looked at. And she can transform. So my initial thought was gonna be Mimikyu, but initial, her personality being somewhat similar. Don't want to be looked at directly, but wants, affection and attention. But then I started going to Ditto because of her powers. So that's what I kind of stayed at, because Ditto can transform into pretty much any Pokemon, and so can Gray, or at least, in terms of people. So that's where I landed. That's why Ditto's on here. Now time for the team captain himself, Yami. So for Yami, I went with something pretty basic, what everybody would think of, that being Pangoro. As the X Dex states, although it possesses a violent temperament, it won't put up with any bullying. It uses the leaf in its mouth to sense the movements of its enemies. Yummy has been shown to have a violent temperament, and although he doesn't really put up with bullying in the traditional sense, he's still a pretty good guy, you know? He'll put up with a little bit of fist fighting, and the whole leaf in its mouth and sense the emotions of the movements of its enemies. He kind of showed that off when, you know, at least with Asta, you know, teaching him about ki and all that jazz. Anyways, from here it's only gonna get more spoilery, so if you're not into that, you're not caught up, then I suggest you leave. I have plenty more videos on my channel you guys can go watch, and yeah, remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you've gotten this far. So yeah, with all the, you know, spoiler alert all done, let's get into the third to last member, Zora. There weren't that many trap looking Pokemon that would fit, you know, Zora's, you know, aesthetic or would go great with him, but I did find one that would match his aesthetic and would go great with him. Zoroark, you know, for those who don't know, it could basically just transform into anything, create massive illusions, and yeah, that's why I chose Zoroark. The second to last member that's going up is Henry. So for Henry, I decided to go with 100% Zygarde. I mean, just look at this thing and look at the hideout, how he transforms it into this like bulky looking thing. And yeah, Zygarde is supposed to be like the protector of Earth, and Henry's kind of become the protector of the hideout, or I guess the Black Bulls in some case. But yeah, that's why he's on here, and I don't think he's gonna have a full team, unfortunately, but yeah. So the final character will be Secret, the bird girl herself. This one's another pretty obvious one, which would be Talo, or Talo, however you pronounce it, because, you know, how it looks, how Secret used to look as Nero, so it's a pretty obvious one. But yeah, that's been my pick for the Black Bulls Pokemon team. And if you guys think anything different, just tell me down in the comments below. Tell me why I should have not done this, or why so many people don't watch this video. But yeah, if you made it this far, you're part of my cult now. Congratulations. We start meetings every Saturday on this channel. Anyways, see you guys next time. Bye.